everybody, it's me, Mary Jane Royal here, and today I'm going to blog about people who hate imagination. You might say to yourself, what do you mean people who hate imagination? I'm not talking about people on YouTube, I'm talking about people in general, people that hate imagination and discourage others from using it. Now there are these people out here who they don't like it if you use imagination. They feel that you victimize them. People go around and they tell me how I cause them a mental and emotional stress and abuse every day by using my imagination. See, I could be making a video right here on YouTube, and apparently because it's imaginary, it's a bad thing. Apparently, there's these certain rules of conduct that when it comes to imagination that I apparently never learned, was never taught. Apparently, you're not allowed to use imagination around more than one person. Apparently, imagination is something to be ashamed of, not to be proud of. Okay, so why is it that everybody's ashamed of imagination? Why would I be ashamed of imagination? God gave us imagination. So you're going to be ashamed of something that God gave you. You're going to hear people, they're going to say stuff like, imagination never made anything good for me. It just caused me a lot of bad stuff. It's your imagination, you control it. It didn't get you into trouble. Okay? There's these people out there who think imagination is a bad thing and that it can get someone in trouble. Explain to me how imagination can get you in trouble. How can you be committing sins or crimes by using imagination? Okay, if you are imagining shooting someone, then yeah, that'd be an example of imagination. But it didn't really happen in real life, okay? That was your imagination. People think that imagination's a bad thing. You got these people who they probably get pissed off when they go to sleep and they have dreams. Dreams are imagination. Imagination is bad. I wish I didn't have any dreams when I went to sleep. That's their mentality. They don't like it when you talk about imagination more than 5 minutes. Apparently, that's the conduct rules. But nobody out there has ever told me these supposed rules about imagination. Well, F it. I am not ashamed to have imagination. And if there's people out there who think imagination's a bad thing, then try to make it illegal. Try to go out and prove that imagination's a sin and a crime. Well, it's not. Nowhere in the 10 Commandments or any law by God, of course, and nowhere any law of man, federal, state, county, and local law, does it say that it's illegal to use imagination. Imagination is not a sin and it's not a crime. But you got these people out here who claim that imagination's a bad thing and they're ashamed of using it. I'm not making this up. There actually are people out there who do not like imagination. It offends them that you have imagination. Well, it's not my fault that you guys have lousy imaginations. Just because you got imagination and you don't want me to use it, that's not my fault. See, people are going to say, oh, you go in and out into fantasy. I hate fantasy. Yeah, well, why do you hate fantasy for? Is it because things happen in fantasy that don't happen in real life? Is that it? Fantasy and reality are enemies. Of course they are. But you got these people out here who believe that imagination is bad. They say, hey, Mary Jane, you're a bad person because you got imagination. You're not allowed to use your imagination. Apparently, you're only allowed to tell a story out loud to a group of people if you got a book or a magazine or a newspaper in front of you. Apparently, if you don't have that, then you're breaking the rule. Okay? You got these people who strongly believe that. But the sad thing is, they can't make imagination illegal. And if they were to make imagination illegal, that meant that everyone could be guilty of imagination then. You used imagination, somebody had proof, boom, you were gone. Well, I'm not ashamed of imagination. If these people think that me having imagination is a bad thing, well, that's their fault. They're going to go around and they're going to blame imagination on every bad thing that's ever happened. They're going to say, oh, you have imagination. You don't take any responsibilities. How in the hell can people go out there and judge you and assume that you don't take any responsibility for your actions or what you do or what you say because you got imagination? Okay? I take responsibility for my actions. Just because I like to go in between fantasy and reality doesn't make me a bad person. There's people out there who actually do believe this, and it's sad. Now I'm not going to go and name anyone. I'm not going to go out and name anybody by names, of course. I'm not going to put words in anybody's mouth or demonize anyone. But there are people out there who think imagination's a bad thing. They're actually ashamed to use imagination. I use my imagination every day. They go, oh, you should be ashamed of it, Mary Jane. Imagination is something to be ashamed of, not something to be proud of. Oh, geez. Talk about all those books, those motion pictures, those television shows, those plays, those music, drawings, carvings, whatever. All of that was imagination, of course. So I guess all those people who did all those things were supposed to be ashamed of his or her imagination to do all those things. Yeah, that's right. They were ashamed of their imagination. No, they were not ashamed of their imagination. And I will not be ashamed of it either, okay? Maybe I'm not as talented as those people who did the motion pictures, the television shows, the plays, the books, the carvings, the drawings, whatever the case was. Maybe I'm not as talented as those people, okay? But I'm still proud of my imagination. So I'm not going to be ashamed of it. For all you people going out there saying, imagination's a bad thing, be ashamed of it. You cause me mental, emotional abuse and stress. Good luck trying to prove that to a jury, to a judge and jury. Good luck trying to prove that to a federal, state, county, or local court of law, saying that this person caused me mental, emotional stress, and that he needs to be either committed or arrested for a sin. They're going to say imagination is not a sin or a crime. Okay? So, but good luck for someone trying to prove that to a court of law, that someone caused them emotional and mental stress. And then, that's right, apparently I victimize people. Because I talk about fantasy too much and not reality, apparently I am a bully who bullies people with his or her imagination. That is the most pathetic thing I ever heard. Stop it, you bully. You're bullying me with your imagination. So apparently, for me not to be considered to be a fantasy bully, I have to either be reading a book, a magazine, a newspaper. I either have to be doing something like a puppet show or a dummy, a Twillicus dummy, just so people can say, oh, you an imagination bully. There is no such thing as an imagination bully, I'm sorry. You got these people, they think imagination's bad, prove it. Prove how bad imagination is. Go out there and prove why imagination should be a sin or a crime, and why I should be ashamed of it. My imagination does not get me into trouble. Now, some people are going to go and say, oh, Mary Jane, you know what? You have mental problems. No, I have no mental problems. I have no emotional problems either. I have no behavior problems at all. So people are going to try to say I got these problems. Well, good luck trying to get some psychologist or counselor to look at me. And at the end of the day, he or she's going to find out there's nothing mentally wrong with me. But because I use imagination, I'm a bad person. A bad person that should be, I don't know, exiled from their native country, should be arrested or committed. Well, whatever. Well, I'm not going to stop using imagination. So you people You people can play the part of the victims all you want. I am not ashamed of using my imagination. I'm sorry. Bye.